Hi, never-ending pick-a-pile. It's Kimberly, as that's a card's turn. We're going to look at all three piles, so let's get started. I hope you're well. Here we go. Pile 1. Got a lot of clarity. You're trying to switch the way you react to something or think about something, or a belief system has changed. You've had enough time to reflect, see? So that's why that wanted to come out. It's something you're communicating with, observing, studying, something like that energy. You're a student, I feel tests. Whoever you're dealing with, this is, oh, that's right, we'll do a collective. Sorry, this is 2. 2, there's a lightened up feeling for you. You know, there's a go with the flow energy. You're protected. You're not letting any negativity come near you. You're keeping it positive. You know, even at a distance, you're keeping all that away. Something that you learned between another person or within yourself that you respect. That 3. You're in a lightened energy. You're hopeful about something. You know that you found a resolution and healing of some sort. It was a long time coming for this clarity. So you're pleased with that health. I feel health. You're pleased with a decision or a remedy that you chose, or something like that. You're very pleased with. Okay, let's look at the energies and cards, guys. This is for pile 1. Kind of the energy for never-ending pick-a-pile. We got fluorite. Find place within. A peace within. Find a place for yourself within. Can I have one more, please, for pile 2? One more for pile 1. Never-ending pick-a-pile. You got Celestite. Soothe your soul. So you're doing a lot of self-care, you know, reflection, rejection too. I want to say that too. Definitely. Because of that's a crystal that tends to absorb but then change so much that it's almost non-existent. So, okay, Lapazuli, make a decision. So you're making a decision about something. Lapazuli's there to help you with that. Let's see who you know. Let's go to 3. I want to say 3. 3. Never-ending pick-a-pile. 3. Never-ending pick-a-pile for 3 current energies. Never-ending pick-a-pile. On the bottom of the deck, 3, you got clear the clutter. Selenite. You got Ucknite, Amethyst, and Iolite. So trust your intuition, live in the now, and shift your money with your mindset so there's something that you're refigurating with money or funds or finances. You're working on that too. Don't worry, it'll all work out. Let's go to 2. This is for pile 2, never-ending pick-a-pile. For 2. You got rose quartz. Open up your heart. And I felt that you did that. I felt the lighter energy with you. And I have 2 more for 2. 2 more for 2, never ending. We got Jade. You know, you're the bigger person in this picture, and I know last time you had to speak up and then you changed your mind and you felt now that you're a bigger person in this, the way it landed. It was softer. I think it ended, but we'll see with a smaller breakdown whatever 2 is dealing with. 2. Ocean Jasper, reschedule yourself in. So you're busy with yourself right now. You know, there's a healed energy with you. You know, and you were left with this energy, which is similar to that. And a brighter aspect as well. So, let's see what blocks we have for you guys this week. Okay, this is for 1. 1, you know, you got chaos upside down and you got vision. So there's something you don't know what's going to happen. You know, you don't know. You're not seeing chaos. You're not seeing that in what you're visualizing or whatever you're doing. You're not seeing that. You're handling it well. You have an understanding, for 1. You know, going within, yeah, the rainbow energy, which is very heightened, you know. And I think that's why you got understanding under it. You're not in denial. One more for 1. I gave you 2. You're in your own groove, you know. And there's love could be coming to you that you don't know, or there has been an ending in something, but there's also a beginning. What must end must begin. So something good is coming to you. I think you've healed a lot in your heart. From what your crystals show, it's a lighter energy for you. Let's look at 2. 2's energy. We got the High Priestess of Water, so your emotions are upright. You're not saying something. You're in a more peaceful energy. I don't think you had to say much in the situation. It just did. It ended itself, where you don't feel as bad about the situation. What you're holding in, you feel more peaceful, and you're really paying attention to reactions. Yeah, the warrior, and you're listening. Something hurt. Now you're just. You know, you're listening, you're standing by, you felt that you already changed something, that you made up your mind. Let's see what 1's doing. What's 1's blocks? And I wouldn't take these as blocks, you know. Maybe there's something you should listen to. Maybe it did hurt, you know what I mean? Maybe that person's emotions are upright. Maybe you have to take a stand back for 2. This is for 3. 3's energy, please. You got the High Priestess of Earth, and you got hope. So I like that for 3. Very grounded, but you see how the cards just scattered. So maybe you have scattered energy, 3. Maybe you're just doing so much, you know, you're trapped in the daily grind of things. And I'm going to give it to you, High Priestess of Earth, because it's closed the deck after. So that's definitely coming out, High Priestess of Earth. You're very grounded. You know, maybe you're going through a lot, but people wouldn't know it, or, you know, you're very obedient. You have that. You know, you got Invincible. This lady's looking at summoning in there, you know, so you're really thinking about yourself, you know, you're maintaining your grind. And I want to say that is a beautiful energy for 2. And, you know, even in your crystals, it says that, you know, you've got that groundedness in there, you know, even through the hard times that Botswana is there as presence, you're okay with it, which helps you. It's something that you're not taking a risk with for 3. And that's wishful thinking, things that aren't real, you know, you feel that aren't strong. Let's get, your energy that all piles are dealing with, the outside energy. Well, there's cycles. High Priestess of Air, there's communication, there's strategy. there's dropping rigidness because it's in a past position. What crosses over that is fulfillment in these cycles. So there's a nicer energy to move forward. That's what's present, you know. I mean, it's different for everybody, but you also have differences here, which I think make the rigidness. That's the unknown in it. Mm-hmm. But there's a choice here not to react to that, to deny it, which I like. It's like almost to pick a positive, to put the seat down, you know, and get focused, laser focused, really. Yeah. You know, take things seriously. There's an energy about this. Mm-hmm. There's a risk you're taking that you feel, you know, not very strong about. But I think in meditation and once you absorb this to change in each pile, there's a good opportunity that'll you'll be fulfilled with it. Yeah, and I know a lot of it's complicated. But when things are too easy, you're not learning something. Really, honestly, are you? When things are too easy, what are we learning? Let's get a smaller breakdown. Why is the High Priestess of Earth here for 3? Why is the High Priestess of Earth for 3? Well, there's something that you released, you know? You purged. You had this a couple of weeks ago, too. For 3. Yeah, you definitely express truth in the way you release, and that's good. Let's see for 2. For 2, why is listening here? For 2, why is listening here for pile 2? Self-love, intentions. So you're listening to someone else's intentions, or you know yours are upright. They're softer, you know, definitely with self-love here. You're thinking of yourself in this situation as well. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that either. You know, it says focus on desires of the heart, self-worth, expansion, manifesting, you know. So you're manifesting. And I love that. And it's positive. Which the outside energy suggests, and I think 2, you're doing it. So is 3. We got a feminine energy, you know, maybe emotions played a factor in this, you know. Yeah, but again, that apology, that forgiveness, this time it's different. It's upside down. It's like you don't even want it. You don't even want it. And there was a message, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore for you for 2. Let's go to 1. The love coming through. Soulmate energy, decisions, a proposal, interrogation of yin, of emotions, and the energies in a union. You know, so there might be a good union coming to you, you know, or one ending that may try to make a wish, you know, to change that result. Yeah, Saturn situation, external party that you're not, you know, one is not really getting into. You can see the bottom of the deck with that. Yeah, South Node. It's a comfort zone for 1, and I don't really think that you would go backwards. I think that 1 has a forward look even to that. Leaving that South Node, like, you know, a real realization in your eye, like, I'm done. I'm done. It's a comfort tone, so just be careful there in the South Node. Don't get too comfortable. That's what I'm getting off of that. Yeah, sabotage. Don't get too comfortable. And I think that's why that's there. There's a control issue. And 1 ain't playing with it. And then 2 ain't even accepting an apology. 3's already expressing the truth. Let's see the reaction of who you're dealing with. This is for 3. Well, it's a timing card on it. Maybe they're staying quiet, and in time they'll speak with you. But until then, you're releasing it. So you figure in time one day, you know. Fate, fortune for 2. Wheel of fortune, karma, cycles, divination, intervention, divine detours. So thank God that you found the self-love, because the divine had to step in. There's something else that you're fated to, and you really don't realize that. So that's a good card. There's one more with that. Think about something. There's memories, but there's something that you're fated with. And right now it's closed off. That's for 2. Timing card for 3. Timing card. Timing card for 3. It'll be a reunion where truth will be exposed. And, the outcome, you just might be grounding it. You're going to take control. You're going to take the reins. You just might release something. Yeah, separation. So you got reunion and separation. So you, in your mind, you already think that. Why is this control here for 1? Why is this control here for 1? There was loss, and then you're thinking about a decision, There was a lot of choices. There's a lot of confusion and illusions around these decisions that you have to make. They're very, very toxic, and it's going to take a longer time to get past this wounded, because healing's upside down. There's permanent damage there. As far as a relationship, everything negative is what you guys are holding on to, and that's for 1. Try not to do that. That's the control, the sabotage, let go of that is what it's saying, and you're not letting go because it came upside down. And there's illusions and fears with this. It's for 1. Why is the control and sabotage present in the South Node? Strong soulmate, telepathic, spiritual, divine connection, twin flame. So, twin flame came upside down. You have a negative energy where this leaves you disharmony. It triggers you. So I think Spirit Guide, for 1, is trying to tell you to stay away for a little bit. Let go of it. Again, let go comes on. Disharmony comes on. You see what I'm saying? I really believe that that's what they're trying to say on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, the foundation is not right. So, there's a union here that you're separating, but there's also one coming to you. Let's see what energies each pile has about the last letting go. Yeah, because you really don't want to work on it. You're just not saying nothing about it. It's an option for you. And there's something, once you realize that, there's something good coming to you. Because there's something so unclear. It gets so confusing that you had to let it go. Let's see why the guardedness is here for 2. Well, 2, there's something that they hold and they don't say nothing, but you know it. So they keep secrets. And then they treat you again as an option. They have a lot of options and you don't look quite like that. 1 more for 2. 1 more for the High Priestess. Oh, you got 2. It seems like there's more problems that you have to deal with, and then you have to go down another path to fix that problem. So they're not dependable. So that's how you feel. Someone's not dependable. Always leaving you out. 3. 3 and the separation of love. Well, something you're not saying, or someone's not saying. They're blocking it. They're blocking this movement because it's not a good movement. Because you already have clarity on how you feel. You've gained an acceptance, and that's why I feel a release with you and a lighter energy with the Uknite there. You did wonderfully here. You just have a good head on your shoulders, whoever you are. You're in control of your emotions, especially. Yeah, there's a victory here. Something you're looking forward to, Knight of Cups, and love, and a movement with love. Yeah, King of Cups. King of Swords, total clarity. Getting ready, you have that ready attitude for 3, you know? There's something that's a victory coming to you. Your emotions are upright. You have the clarity you need. You have the leadership quality, you have the structure, you're intellectual, you're logical. There's a victory with it. You know, this could be a romantic proposal, too. I mean, for those that are single. Let's see what the outside energy. Outside energy, all 3 piles in a collective. Outside energy, all 3 piles in a collective. Well, we got slow energy, and we have some disappointments. Okay, that's okay. And we have the ability to work harder and believe and heal with the star energy, you know, and believe half of what you see, half of what you read, and half of what you hear. Communication. Okay, you know, there's a good opportunity to walk away from chaos, because we've seen that there on the board. There's a good opportunity to get things in order. These 2 came out. No. Respect, love, beginning in love, a new beginning, you know, any kind of aces and new beginnings. New relationships, new romances, love is in the air. You know, so it's a nice opportunity to have. There's cycles of life, there's destiny here, that's on the board. There's release of, that's on the board. There's one more, that's the star energy. That's healing. And to begin again. That's what's here, to give a push forward, you know. So I think we're feeling that with spring. Okay, guys, it's a really good week. Really good. I really like the cards. They're coming out, you know. This is being left behind, thought about, not even thought about, upside down. All right. There's a more stable energy coming at us, you know, slowing us down on our wishes to experience what we thought we wanted, right? And sometimes it's not what we wished for. So slow down energy is here. Relax, you know, smell the roses, you know, just hang tight. There's a hang tight healing energy. I didn't even see the sun here. It's for 1. There's something new coming to you, you know. All 3 piles look great. You know, don't sit and wait, you know, 2. You know, the self-love's present. Stand up for yourself with something. There's something you're fated with that you don't know. This reunion, I think you've already have the understanding with. That came out as well up here and up here. I like everybody's energy this week. So, bottom card. Yeah, getting rid of the confessing, you know, exposure, coming clean, failed strategy. All that's like at an understanding and like, I'm done. Yeah, we feel that, you know. And then we walk away. It's all options we choose, you know. I mean, trap ourselves. There's an entrapment feeling. So think about that. You know, and then you walk away from it, and then it's a cycle again and a cycle again. So I don't know if this is relationships that need to be looked at, ended, or whatever, but the energy is present, or ones that have to be reunited and looked at deeper. There's a little betrayal here, you know, and I think whoever's in what pile knows something. This keeps coming out. It keeps coming out. It's not going to get any better from one of these more piles. It's not going to get any better in a relationship. I think that for weeks You've been trying to release something and really focus on your self energy. The transformation from the south to the north node, I felt that a lot in the energies here. So a lot of using your knowledge now, what you have learned, in a different manner. It's there. It's nice. Very nice, King of Wands. It's how committed you are to change. No? And I think a lot of us are letting down our guards, opening up our hearts here. And that's hard to do. Especially when there's illusions in it. So just hang tight. I'll see you soon on the Never Ending. And as the cards turn tarot. Okay, take care.